Welcome to Conversations with Toi, a blogcast tackling life one episode at a time. This is the time to air out life's craziest moments. This space is all about speaking about life's hang-ups and ways in which we can leave better than when we started. Topics are all about ways we can find space to be better in life, love, mental space, and health.
Happy Friday. I hope that you have had the most amazing week because you absolutely deserve it. 100%. You deserve all of the good things. It is Friday and it is May 1st. We are in a new month, so that means a new season. We got all kinds of things happening. We also have a guest today on the podcast. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. So I'm super grateful. I want to talk about what's been happening. Let's talk about what's going to happen as far as just a couple things that we need to talk about, a little housekeeping, little news to share. And then let's get into this, a wonderful guest. Let me just say, this week has been trying me. I've had a pretty decent week. And then it only takes one situation to take you off course. But I am fighting tooth and nail to keep myself together, to keep myself in my mindset, to keep everything flowing and going because it's super easy to get off track. It is super easy to get off track. I say all that to say, if you are experiencing these types of moments when you feel like your mental health is not 100%, you got all kinds of things happening and you just need, a reset. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get yourself a reset. Whatever that it is that you need, go ahead and grab it. Grab it, get it, all of the things, because nothing is worse than knowing that you're not right, knowing that you're struggling with something, and then continuing on as if nothing has happened. Long gone are the days when someone says, "Are you okay?" and you just continue to say, "I'm okay," when you know that you're not. It's completely acceptable to let people know not everything is not okay, but I'm not ready to talk about it. I'm working through something. I'm not all the way there, but I'm going to be all right. Those are good, valid answers because those are the reality of where you are. I am no longer puppeteering and doing these little song and dances for folks. I can say with full certainty, like, hey, you know what? It ain't all right. It's not okay. And I want you to get comfortable saying that because we got to stop this little song and dance where we put on for people, because while we're putting on for people as if we're puppets, it's not helping us. It's not filling our cups. It's not making us better. It's not walking in wholeness. It's not doing anything. So I want us to be very comfortable with saying you're not okay. And you don't have to have the answer to why you're not okay. You don't got to have the answer. You just have to be willing to go and get all the things and do all the things that you need to do for yourself. Because we are in a new season, because we are in a new month, this is the month of May. Happy May 1st. So much is going on. It's also, I believe, Stress Awareness Month. April was Stress Awareness Month. May is mental health awareness. So we're going to talk about, first of all, I didn't even say hello. I didn't even give a greeting. Listen. Hello. Hi. My name is Toi. I am your podcaster. I have a lot of hats. I am a podcaster. I am a freelance writer, a blogger, an influencer. I do social media. I do a lot of things, but one of the things, the two hats that I love wearing the most are going to be the mother of 3 amazing children and a wife. And listen, thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Toi. Since we're talking about May being Mental Health Awareness Month, let's also talk about the fact that every time you tune in, and I mean literally every time you tune into this podcast, you are always and forever going to hear conversations about mental health. It's just what I do. I feel like we always should have a conversation about what's going on in the world when it comes to mental health. What are the trends that we are seeing in therapy? And not just because they're trends, but because sometimes when the things that we are watching, we're consuming so much quote unquote content in every level. What are the things that we are seeing happening that could be influencing your mental health? If you're seeing it, like for instance, we've been talking about, and it's been going on, still going on, this uptick in violence, the acknowledgement of these uptick in violence, because it's not something that's happened that's new. There's nothing new under the sun. But the uptick of us seeing the displays of violence towards women could really have a toll on your mental health. You could be in a relationship and you could be saying to yourself, I believe that my person that I have chosen is the right person for me. However, with all these violent things that are happening, it may make you second guess your safety. Listen, I just talked about that last week. Last week's episode was, are we truly safe? And it's the question that I think all women have had to ask. I'm already asking that for my daughters. How am I supposed to raise daughters in a world where they may not be safe? What I am trying to do in a world where we're asking daughters are they safe is to also make sure that I put into my young son that he needs to make sure that the world that he is around, the women that he is around, is safe at all times. My son will be 15 this year, and I'm having those hard conversations because it's like, hey, I want to make sure you're good. I want to make sure that you understand that respect is something that you display right off the rip. You don't display it you can get something from a woman. You display it because it's the right thing to do, right? And so again, these are conversations that are having, and I always want to bring these types of things up because I always want to make sure that we're having good conversations surrounding that so that we can present this to others. Like we got to make sure things are right. With that being said, it is now May 1st. If you're new here and true here, I am a May birthday. I celebrate my birthday in May. My birthday is May the 10th, which means that this year my birthday is on Mother's Day. I was born on Mother's Day. Today my birthday is not today, but my birthday will be on Mother's Day, Lord's will. And every so often it jumps and spills onto Mother's Day, which is a blessing. God bless. I'm excited. Just so we're clear, just like with Christmas babies, I don't know how y'all do it over there, but for me being a Mother's Day baby, I've always been very clear that my Mother's Day stuff and my birthday stuff are not the same. We will not be combining. We will not be doing that. I need separate things for the birthday and separate things for Mother's Day, and everybody has understood that. I think that, and I'm going to talk about this as we get into our conversation because we're talking about blocks. We're going to talk about what is blocks. We're going to be talking about Marie Benedict. We got so much to talk about, right? But I want to stop this crash out that's going to happen. Mothers are going to get on social media and whatever platform that they choose, and they're going to crash out about the fact that their husbands, their significant others, they may be single mothers, so they don't have anybody that's pouring into their cup for Mother's Day. They, if their kids are like making those little, flower pot, things, that's all they got. Let's, and these are things that are cute, but, mothers want to be pampered a little bit. We want to be loved on a little bit. We want to have all of these things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want moms to start speaking up. I'm going to be making a video about this, so if you follow me on YouTube, get on and get ready. We're going to have a conversation because I think it's something we need to talk about. Too many mothers are so scared to say the things that they want because we have been taught to receive whatever we get. And yes, we are going to receive whatever we get, but we got to be honest about the fact that it takes a little bit of effort. A little bit of effort goes a long way. We're going to talk about in this conversation on YouTube on the series. Well, I'm not even going to make it a series. I'm just going to drop one strong video. I want to talk about those who are struggling to become mothers and those who don't even desire to be mothers. I think we should have that conversation. I want to have that conversation because too many times we find ourselves with, dealing with this month, which is one of the hardest months. Christmas and Mother's Day, Christmas, Mother's Day, and Father's Day, but Mother's Day is such a hard time for people because if they've lost their mother, they're very sad, they're very upset, rightfully so. A mother's love can take you through the best of things and the worst of things. And then we have the situation where you have mothers who are very much alive, but they're very much dead to the people that they have mothered, right? Because they have no relationship, nothing. It's just a relationship that is dead. Like I've talked about this on the blog. I've talked about this during this season. So we're going to hit it all. I'm going to make one video. I do have a bunch of Mother's Day content that I'm going to push out, and it's going to meet everybody. We got folks who have lost their children. People who have lost their children grieve Mother's Day to another level as well, and people don't talk about that. So let's talk about all those things. We're going to do a video on YouTube. We're going to put the content out on my blogs. I already have it done. It's been done. I've been posting it almost every year. I kind of refresh the blogs as they need to, but I want to talk about those things. So mothers, if you are a mother and you want certain things for Mother's Day, and or you may not even want certain things, you just want a certain level of treatment. Maybe you want a weekend away. Maybe you want a dinner that somebody actually took the time to make a reservation for, instead of pulling up to a restaurant knowing that people are going to be crowded at them restaurants without a reservation. Because for you to know that at the end of the day, right, for you to know that Mother's Day is coming and you make no reservation, but you want to show up at a restaurant knowing it's going to be at least an hour wait, and not have any feelings about that, not see that as a problem, that begin there. That is the problem, right? People just want effort. So let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that, especially on next week's episode, because next week's episode is going to drop on the I think it's the 8th, 7th, because it's right before Mother's Day. And the video that I'm going to drop it before Sunday of this weekend, because I need us to get this message out to help those who are struggling around Mother's Day, and those who want to be uplifted around Mother's Day. But on today's conversation, we have a guest. I'm so excited. We do have a guest, right? I love that. But I want to talk about the fact that today is May 1st, and that means it is day one of Toybration. Toybration is a 10-day celebration that I do to celebrate myself. And I know in this world, we don't hear that. Like, God forbid, we're not allowed to celebrate ourselves. But I'm knocking that all the way out the park, right? As if I'm playing for the Phillies. I am knocking it out the park. You need to learn how to celebrate yourself. And this is the reason why. When you don't celebrate yourself, you get mad at the crumbs that other people give. But I'm pouring back into my cup, because whether somebody does, like, I'm surrounded by people who just genuinely do support my birthday. They do love on me. They do show that care. But you could be in a situation where you didn't show that care. Now, where does Toybration comes from? Toybration came from a few years. It has to be over 10 years. Because my oldest is 16. So let's say over 10 years ago, I decided to come up with this concept to do the things that I wanted to do. So for 10 days, from May 1st through May 10th, I get to do things for myself. I've always been encouraging every last one of you, whether you were a woman, a man, transgender, whatever your pronouns are. I've been encouraging everybody to learn to celebrate yourself. We live in a space where, again, we are inundated with this concept that we must always give. And you should give. You should look out for others. Like, for instance, we have BLOCS. If it wasn't for BLOCS, there'd be a lot of children, including mine, that may struggle to get to the schools that give them a better quality of education. Somebody gave, and therefore there are others like myself and others that can receive and then can make something better of themselves. And then in return, we will give to somebody else to pay it forward, right? Beautiful messaging, beautiful things that we should really be involved with. However, we also have to learn to pour back into our cup. Too many times we're frustrated in life because somebody didn't give, somebody didn't do, somebody didn't see you. I need you to learn how to celebrate and see yourself. So Toybration was made through myself. I decided to coin it Toybration because my name is Toy. And with Toybration, I legitimately pour back into my cup. If I want to go to the movies, I'm going to go to the movies. If I want to have a dinner that I want to enjoy without having to share, I'm going to do that for these first 10 days. Now, this is weird because as a content creator, I get invited to a lot of things. So I kind of feel like Toybration got extended this year because it just did. But I'm starting off strong. I didn't get a chance to go to, as a content creator, I get invited to a lot of things. I didn't get a chance to go to any of the celebrations for Devil Wears Prada. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go see it. I already booked myself my own one ticket for myself. I'm going to go see Devil Wears Prada 2 today. I'm going to enjoy me some me time. I'm going to pour back into my cup. I'm going to eat the snacks without sharing. I'm going to go with smiling without even feeling the slightest bit of guilt. And that's the beautiful thing about celebrating yourself. So many of us celebrate and then we want to do it, but then we feel bad. My children aren't buying, they're not getting nothing these 10 days. I know. Now, I do have to get some stuff for vacation because we are planning we're not planning. We are going on vacation. It's planned already. Outside of that, and outside of their basic needs, I'm not buying anybody anything. I'm not buying anything for anybody. My oldest daughter has a birthday in May towards the end of the month. Praise Jesus. I love that for her. She will get all the things, but everybody else, nobody's getting anything. This is the celebration. We time out. We pour back into us. And so for me, for Toybration, I'm going to do all the things. I look forward to doing fun things that make me feel good, things that bring joy. And maybe one day I spend $10 and the next day I may spend 30, 40, maybe 100. Maybe I drop a couple hundreds on myself. Who knows? Whatever it is, I'm going to enjoy this time. So today is Devil Wears Prada movie. I'm going to go by myself and enjoy it. Not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. Sunday, I have the Broad Street Run race, which is 10 miles. Let me tell you something. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to be a couch potato on Saturday to get ready for my Sunday run. And my Sunday run tradition is that I either get some form of taco or some form of whatever food. Usually I like to support a women-owned business. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do this year. Support a women-owned business for my treat to myself, my lunch to myself, my breakfast to myself, whatever you want to call it. And then I get to sleep in, get in my Epsom salt bath and relax all day Sunday. But I can almost guarantee you, I'm out in these streets. I'm having a good time. I'm doing all the things when it comes down to how I'm going to be celebrating and being celebrated. I love that. So, Toybration is happening. I want to get into this guest that we have because she's absolutely amazing. There's an event coming up. It's absolutely amazing. I want to get into that. I can't stress enough how this week has been doing a number on me. Yeah. Yeah, it's been doing enough. It's been doing quite enough on me this week. But here's the beautiful part about it. Yes, life has been lifing and things have been happening because life happens to all of us. But one thing I will say is that I am excited for how taking the step back and learning to recognize the stress levels that I might be under or being honest about my feelings is it's helping me in so many ways. And I hope that we get to the point, or you get to the point, where you can do the same. When you recognize that something is happening around you or you're not enjoying the things that are happening around you, you can be better off at learning how to anticipate and how to get past it. So that's just my tidbit when it comes to the mental health. Let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. Today's guest we have Amy Impellizzeri. I'm hoping that I said her name correctly. She joined BLOCS in 2025 as a development manager. She works very closely with schools and donors in the Greater Lehigh Valley and Berks County regions to expand access to educational opportunities through the EITC program. Okay. Prior to joining BLOCS, she led the Eastern Pennsylvania Scholarship Foundation from 2022 to 2025, and she brings more than 15 years of experience as a practicing lawyer to her role. She is the graduate of Dickinson College, which, let me just say, I got accepted into Dickinson, and low-key, high-key, I should have gone there, but I did go to Penn State, praise be. And the George Washington National Law Center. She is an award-winning author of fiction and nonfiction, and is an adjunct faculty member in Drexel University's MFA and Creative Writing program. We are being blessed today. We have such a great honor of having Amy on the show. She's going to talk about BLOCS. She's going to talk about the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is EITC. I would always want to make sure that we know what we're talking about. This has been a blessing to, again, myself, as well as many other parents who would like to have the opportunity to put their kids in quality education, right? She focuses on building strong partnerships and guiding both first-time donors and long-time supporters through the tax credit process to maximize their impact for schools and education, because it's important. Our kids are special. They are important. And if you believe in that, wholeheartedly, you will do all of the things. BLOCS has been a blessing to the Store household. Again, they have provided scholarships and things that we have needed for our children to go to the great schools that they are going to go to. And my son is going to an amazing school next year. But we're also going to be talking about Marie Benedict, who is an amazing author, right? She is an amazing author. She has her newest novel, Daughter of Egypt. Benedict's visit to Philadelphia is also in support of BLOCS, and it's on the eve of the 25th anniversary of the Earned Income Tax Credit Program, 25 years of EITC, right? Now, as an author, she is coming to talk about her book, and she'll be here on May the 6th, here in the Philadelphia area, at the Rittenhouse Hotel. This is located at 210 Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia, PA. If you've ever been to the Rittenhouse Hotel, you know how exemplary, beautiful it is. It is stunning. She's going to talk about her book. She's going to talk about the things that she surrounds when it comes to the history of women. And the book is listen, I can't wait to get my copy of it. And I'm going to pray. I'm sure she's going to sign it. I'm going to get her to hopefully sign it for me. I will be at this event on May the 6th. So I'm going to leave in the show notes for you to get the tickets, because I think it's important. We have Amy here from BLOCS in EITC to talk about that and talk about the program. What does it do? How is it inspiring other young women to take their place in getting their education? Let me tell you something. We've come a long way as women. We've come a long way as women, because there was a point in time where we were property. We couldn't even get an education. We couldn't do nothing outside of our husband's son signing off. So the fact that we've come from that point to the point where we have leaders and lawyers and doctors, and we have people that, we have uh, women that are doing things like going up for the office of president. Like, we have women doing amazing big time things that if we would have thought about it, or like our ancestors, the women who came before us fought so that we could do the things that we are doing right now. Let's not take that for granted. Let's make sure that we do everything that we can to pay it forward. With that being said, we do have Amy here. We're talking about what is EITC, what is BLOCS, how does this all work together to support young ladies and men too, but to support women in the things that they are doing, and what we can expect when Marie Benedict comes to Philadelphia, which I believe we are the last stop on her tour. She's been doing this national. She is a New York Times bestselling author. Okay, first of all, let's talk about that. And listen, I am a writer, and you can't be a good writer if you're not a good reader. And because those two marry each other, they're married readers and writers, that you got to be able to read and to also write it's a whole thing. But nonetheless, I say all that to say I am super excited. I am an avid reader. I don't take no, I don't care. I know people are like, oh, well, you have this, you do videos and you do that. Yeah, that's cute. I love all those things. That helps me to get my message across, to support women, all the things. I'm a girl's girl in real life, on and off the screen. So I'm excited to have Amy here on our conversation. I'm excited to meet Miss Marie Benedict. I can't begin to tell you. I can't wait. So if you will be in the Philadelphia area, again, in the show notes, you will see the link for you to get tickets. Tickets are still available. You're not going to want to miss this, okay? Will I see you on May 6th? Let's get right into the conversation. And thank you, Amy, for being a part of the almost at the Toy Time family, but that is too, but of our Conversations with Toi family.
All right, so thank you for joining us. Listen, Conversations with Toi family, we have a very good treat today. I've already let you know who we're speaking to, but we do have Amy here, and we're going to talk about all kinds of amazing ways in which BLOCS has been there to help educate with the education of young people. I am a recipient of BLOCS. My family, my children have received it. I love that for us. I love the fact that I can give them a very good quality education with the help of BLOCS. But I want to say welcome to you, Amy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This is very exciting. Happy to meet you.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk about what BLOCS is and how it's been able to help young women, especially. Not that it hasn't helped young men, because it does, but how has you seen the shift in helping young women in their educational endeavors?
Yeah, thanks so much. So yeah, BLOCS is an approved scholarship organization, I always say with a capital S-O, approved by the state to administer the EITC program, which is a need-based scholarship program in the Commonwealth for students from grades pre-K all the way through 12. And it's been it's turning 25 this year. The EITC program is turning 25 this year. It's been an incredible program, and it's really helped hundreds of thousands of students, and we are seeing that the educational opportunities provided to all students, but of course to young women, have been really differentiators for a lot of young girls and young women's paths, and I'm really excited to be part of that.
That is amazing. So how have you seen the shift in how it's been helping young women, especially? I mean, again, I want to stress that it is not exclusive to women,
Right.
but it has been a shift. And what have you been seeing?
Because, well, here's the thing. It is need-based scholarship funding, right? And we do know that historically, girls funding, female funding has been historically underfunded compared to their male counterparts. And so it's been a really important priority for BLOCS to make sure to level that playing field, to make sure that girls' education does receive the funding and the awareness and the attention that it deserves. And also to really sort of make sure that women have the opportunity to have a conversation about philanthropy, and so that women can really talk about where their scholarship dollars go. And we're finding that women are really growing in their support of this philanthropy, and so they are really becoming mentors, both in the true sense of mentorship, of guiding, and also in their financial decisions to guiding young women. So that's been a really exciting shift in this program.
And that's an amazing thing. And BLOCS is celebrating 25 years, if I'm not mistaken. And you're saying you're seeing a lot of shift in women, helping women and young girls, I should say. But what have you been seeing in the shift of women donors? Because it's one thing to help
Yeah.
young girls to become the things that they need to become, but then having them step back and come back, or just have women in general become more, donor driven. How have you seen that shift?
Yeah, so I should point out that BLOCS is actually about 45 years old. We even predate the EITC legislation. But obviously, the EITC program has been a huge part of our focus for the last 25 years. And that's exactly right. So women donors have become a really important and growing segment of our donor base. We've been really intentional very recently about making sure to reach those women through a lot of really innovative and pioneering donor events. Like we've been hosting executive female golf clinics. We were key sponsors of the Pennsylvania Conference for Women this year in Philadelphia. And of course, this event that we're hosting with New York Times bestseller Marie Benedict is just another opportunity we feel to really reach a growing demographic of women who are really interested in hearing about this program and really interested in supporting all education, but certainly girls' education.
And I really love hearing that. I do know you guys are sponsoring the women's conference, and I love that, because those are different ways in which I would think that someone who is donating wouldn't think that that would be a way for you to reach, but that is a beautiful reach, because there's a whole lot of people who may not have heard of it and want to be a part of it. So the more you reach out, the more you have more different diverse um, activities, and having people see it and be more visual, that does help.
No, you're absolutely right, because one of the best ways of marketing this program is through word of mouth, right? Donors get into the program, they become really excited about the program, they see how easy it works, they see the impact. But if we aren't reaching women, they can't tell each other about the program, right? So we're really trying to find new and exciting ways to make sure that we're reaching women and including them in the conversation as well. And it's working.
I love that. And as you see the scholarship reach potential students or people who families who actually need it, what are you seeing as far as just the families and the schools that are benefiting from it? Because it's one thing for families who need it, but it's also bringing the right students into the right schools. How have you seen that shift
Oh.
as well?
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, this is a program that really opens up educational opportunities across the board, and that's been really exciting because when our schools can offer more financial aid, more scholarship opportunities to more students, they can grow enrollment. They can, and then in turn, the growing enrollment across all the fields, right? It enhances the school so dramatically and ensures the sustainability of those schools. So we've been really excited about the growth in enrollment that has been really linked to the increase of this program as well.
So I want to go into, there is an upcoming event happening, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the significance of blocks and how this is just all tied in together. But Marie Benedict, who is the author of The Daughter of Egypt, is coming, and she is coming on May the 6th. I'm going to put this in the show notes for those who are listening who may want to get tickets, because tickets, from what I'm hearing, are still very much available. And it's from 6 to 8 at the Rittenhouse Hotel. Her book with The Daughter of Egypt, how do you feel that that ties in with just what blocks are trying to accomplish and the things that they're doing?
Well, of course, anybody who's familiar with Marie Benedict knows that she writes about underrepresented folks, particularly women in history. She shines a spotlight on women who might otherwise have been forgotten by historians or by historical research. So she writes historical fiction. So all of her novels start with the seed of a real woman. And then she often imagines scenarios that we might not be able to, she does a lot of research, but to the extent that she can fill in the blanks that are missing from original materials, she creates a story around them. And it's an inspiring story. And she is so inspirational in her own life and in her own journey, and certainly in this writing journey that she's chosen. Like this is really important work for her to write about women who are underrepresented and forgotten about in history. And Daughter of Egypt, which is her newest novel, is literally about a female pharaoh who was chiseled out of history, truly chiseled out of history. And It is a dual timeline, so it does feature a woman who really tried to fix that and tried to rectify that situation. And it was so clear to me when I got an advance copy of this book, and when I originally heard about the premise of the book, that this was a story that our donors and our students and our schools would want to hear directly from the author's mouth. And so I reached out to her. It was a quick and easy yes. She said, absolutely, I want to do this. I want to come and I want to talk in Philly. And we're her only stop in Philadelphia on her national tour. I know, very exciting. So we're kind of at the we're kind of closing out her Daughter of Egypt tour. It was an instant New York Times bestseller. But the message is so important for our young women. It's really important for everyone today, but I feel so excited that we're going to have students and young women in the audience who are going to get to hear this message directly from the woman who researched it, who went to Egypt, who walked in the footsteps of Queen Hatshepsut, and really has a story to tell, and is creating voice for somebody who really needed her voice and really needed her story told. So I'm really excited about this. Yeah.
This I can't wait. I actually excited to read this book. I'm an avid reader because I feel like you can't be a decent writer and not be a good reader. Like it kind of goes in hand in hand. My
I
question is,
agree.
yeah, it's like it doesn't work any other way. But my question is for you. If a young woman were to ask you how she would be able to how she would be able to formulate in her path for success. Like let's just say she has all these different thoughts about what she wants to do, and she's looking to see like, hey, what's my vision? How do I get there? What am I doing? What would be your advice?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great question. I mean, first of all, I would really counsel her the way people counseled me when I was a young woman, to really follow my dream and not lose my own voice, to really remember my own voice, to own my own voice. And so I would really counsel young women to do the same, to really own their voice, to resist making decisions that are others are making for you, right? Because that doesn't serve you, and it's not always easy to lean into those decisions when you don't have the true passion and direction behind them. And to find good mentors in your life, and this is what I love so much about the women that we work with, and of course Marie Benedict. She's such a wonderful mentor, visible mentor for young women about reclaiming her voice and telling stories of women who are not. Whose voice might otherwise be forgotten. And so I would really counsel young women to really own your own voice, to look for those mentors, look for those people in the world, look for those women in the world who are doing just that and who are can be champions for you doing the same. Yeah.
What is a hope that you would have for those who are going to be attending? Again, I can't stress this enough that me and Marie Benedict will be here in Philadelphia. She is coming on Wednesday, May the 6th from 6 to 8. It's going to be at the Rittenhouse Hotel. Again, if you're listening, don't worry. I'm going to put the link right in the show notes. My question again is, what's your hope that women, young women, whomever attends is going to take away from hearing her speak about the book and just her experiences in life? What do you hope to people are going to take away?
Yeah, I hope young women will hear the message and hear the story, not just Marie's story, but the story of Queen Hatshepsut, and really say to themselves, it's never too late to first of all rewrite your story. It's never too late to really own your voice, own your story, and that you do own your story, that you do own your voice. I think I'm really excited for the young women um, to hear about the research that went into this book, and the research that goes into all of her stories, and also the process for how she discovers women in history whose stories need to be told. I think when I have heard her tell this story, and I'm anxious for her to tell it again in the room full of our students and our families and our community, because I think it's important to remember that, to keep your eyes open and to sort of look around the world through a different lens, through an expansive lens that really, I think we often do overlook stories, or we think our own stories are not worth telling. And I hope the women and the girls leave that room knowing that that's simply not true.
I do have one question for you, two questions for you. One question is, because Blocks has been so vital in helping families, specifically in schools, basically combine forces to, make sure that children in general have the education that they need. Have you ever heard of stories where like people are just like, I don't want to say overly grateful, but there is a sense of gratefulness when you receive that money from Blocks. So have you heard stories while you worked with Blocks to just anything surrounding that?
Oh, yes, all the time. I mean, it's one of my it's an incredibly impactful program. And and it's a program where the impact is visible immediately. That's what's so exciting about it, right? It's not there's no delay. I mean, the impact is immediately recognized, and so I don't take that for granted. And the reaction from the students and the families, the interaction with students and families is so sustaining and so encouraging. And what it's what makes me love this work. It's what gets me up every day. But absolutely, the families and the stories that we hear and the the impact that the students are then having and making in their homes, in their communities because of these opportunities. These are absolutely life-changing stories, and they have changed mine for sure.
Amazing. Now, this I always talk about health and wellness because it's just a
Yeah.
part of the conversation. Um, what are some ways in which you, as you're doing this work, and you're helping families and you're a part of this organization is doing great things, how are you taking care of you and your mental health and wellness?
Love that question. And this is the kind of work that the work and your life sort of become intertwined, right? And you're working, and the boundaries become sort of blurred. So, which I do love in a lot of ways, but I am conscious to really try to carve out time that's just family time, that's just me time, whether that be reading, movement, travel, and I am a big reader. So I do try to really find that time to carve out. And I think that's an important thing, especially when you do work like this that just bleeds into your personal life. It's willingly, as so much so, but to make sure that it's sustainable, to make sure that I continue to have the energy and the momentum that I need to keep doing this work. I do have to sort of make sure to carve out some time for myself as well.
Yes, it is so important. I mean, I understand 100% about how work and things just bleed in together, but hearing you, remind us again that taking care of ourselves is paramount. And of course, as an avid reader, I 100% agree
Yeah.
with that. Is there anything else that you want to leave with us before we leave?
No, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you for what all you do in this space. I think it's so wonderful. I was reading a recent blog post of yours about nourishment and all the ways that shows up in our lives. And I was thinking a
Mm,
lot about that. I was thinking a lot about um, the the need for consistency in our nourishment as well, which is something probably that I need to work on. But
me too.
it's a it's a good reminder that nourishing ourselves can really take a lot of different forms. You wrote something about listening, and I thought that was really special too, about listening to our bodies, listening to ourselves. And so I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for what you're doing in this space, and I want to thank you for the impact that you're having. And I'm so grateful for your shining a spotlight on the Blocks mission through this program. So thank you.
Not a problem. And yes, just like today, I had to be on the move again, kind of eat on the go. But again, and not feeling that guilt. I feel like a lot of times we feel so much guilt about the things that we're doing. And sometimes it's just like we're doing what we need to do. And then sometimes we do have to tighten up. Sometimes we have to put some consistency and do some stuff ahead of time. But, today it worked. It worked and got me through the
Yeah,
day. And tomorrow we'll, do something different. So.
I totally agree with that. We're doing the best we can every day.
Yes. So thank you so much, Amy, for
Thank
one, being
you.
a part of this conversation, but also talking to us about the things that Blocks is doing for those who are interested and you want to know more. We're going to put all the information into the show notes because I want you to learn what they do and also just how they do what the impact is. And again, I can't stress enough, if you're in the Philadelphia area, make sure that you come and listen and hear Marie Benedict as she talks about her amazing book, Daughter of Egypt. It's going to be on Wednesday, May the 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. And it's going to be at Rittenhouse Hotel. If you've never been to the Rittenhouse Hotel, it's aesthetically beautiful. I've been there several times. I've attended events there. So it's going to be a treat. I can't wait to see it. And if you're listening to the podcast, remember, all of this information will be in the show notes. So you can just click on it. I know we are clickable people. So we'll make sure it's clickable so you can get your tickets. So you can't say I didn't tell you, because this is out in enough time for you to get your tickets yet. So Amy, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation.
Thank you.
Okay, what did you think? I thought the conversation was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every bit of it. I hope that I will see you on May the 6th. Remember, in the show notes will be the link for you to get all of the things, because again, I want you to show up and make sure that you support good authors, support women doing beautiful things, support using your earned income tax credit to support students and all the things. Like, I want you to do everything that's out there. I want you to go ahead and get it done. So again, you know the drill. If you're first time listening, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you heard something that was inspiring. I hope that you understand that when you come over here on this podcast, we not really always going to sugarcoat everything. We're not going to put no flowers and dust no sprinkles on stuff. A lot of times it's got to be straight up, no chaser, telling you the real, especially when it comes to mental health and wellness. When I started off this podcast, I talked about being honest for where you are and being okay with saying that you're not okay. You might still struggle with that, especially if you are a reformed or trying to become a reformed people pleaser. If you're that, you already know how this works. You try to do everything that everybody wants. You want to give everybody the response that everybody's used to, quote unquote, getting. But it comes at a cost, and to a point where we got to stop doing that, right? And it's easier said than done. But I want us to get into the practice of being honest about your feelings. For instance, one of my best friends and I were supposed to meet up for dinner. She came off the cuff, right off the rip. I reached out. I think she either reached out. I don't remember who reached out to who first, but she was like, "Listen, I am in pain. I've been doing this all week. I've been pouring back into my cup, and I don't have capacity to meet you for dinner." Guess what I did as a good best friend? Go home and rest. We'll meet up next week. I love you. Not, oh my God, I can't believe you. No, because she should be able to be safe with me to tell me that she can't do something versus trying to show up and people please her way while she's not in her best. And we would not have a great time, although we have a good time doing all things. But it's the principle, right? I want people to get used to being honest about where they are in life. I want you to get used to doing that. Again, I can't tell you how much it's easier said than done. But when you practice it, it makes it a little easier. And the more you practice, the better it becomes. And then you get to the point where you're like myself, where I'm like, hey, no, we don't do that. Or, no, thank you, I don't want that. Or, no. Did you hear that pause? Because no is a full sentence. Okay. For this weekend and for this upcoming week, I want you to get yourself together for this week. Me and Amy were talking about one of my blog posts where I was talking about, nourishment, how you eat and what you eat, and making the correlation between that and your health. Like, looking at that and saying, how can I make sure that I'm doing all the things to make sure that I'm putting back into me before I put things out, right? I want to make sure that I'm putting back into me the things that need to be put back into me so that I can show up for my family or I can show up for myself. I want you to find one thing this weekend that you can do that's exclusively for you. You may not be on a toybration like I am. That's fine. Extend your hand and extend some joy my way. But for you, you could still find one activity that is all about you, things that you love to do that has nothing to do with your title. Meaning, if it's something like, hey, first of all, I like cooking shows, right? So like sometimes I'll sit and I'll watch a baking show or a cooking show. That's something that you can do, has nothing to do with your title, but it makes you happy. What if it's reading a book like myself? Again, sitting down, reading a book, listening to an audio book, whatever it is that's going to put joy. It doesn't mean that you have to go and get a massage, although those things are great. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and go on a shopping spree. Those things are great too. It could be something as small as, I'm going to not get up before 11 a.m. or I'm not going to leave my bed. I'm going to bed rot for a couple hours and I'm not going to get up until before 11 because I want to pour back into my cup. Because for me, I get up every morning at 5 o'clock. So it's like, hey, on the weekends, I want to sleep in a little bit. That could be your joy. That could be your one thing. It doesn't have to be major. Find something small, something big, something medium size, whatever size it is. Pour back into your cup, pour back into you. Find the joy. This world is already sad. This world is already hard. I've been listening to the certain trial. I won't even talk about the trial because it's just going to make me angry again. And I was like, you know what? I got to come off this. I got to stop watching this trial because this trial is making me angry. But then I was like, you know what? Let me go out with my husband and have a drink and some food. And we did just that. It's the small things. It's the big things. It's the medium things. It's just doing the things. Thank you for rocking out with Conversations with Toi. Share this episode. You're already doing one thing. You know the 3 things I need you to do. You're already doing it because you're listening. I need you to then share it with somebody else. And then I want you to leave a feedback on whatever podcast platform you are listening to. Whatever that this is, I want you to have the most amazing day, have the most amazing weekend, have the most amazing week. And we will be back next Friday, Lord's will, to talk about Conversations with Toi, which will be the Mother's Day episode. You do not want to miss. I'm not missing none of you. And if you are a follower of the YouTube at Toi Time Blog, everything is Toi Time Blog, you can then watch the episode as it hits before Sunday about Mother's Day. I want to make sure we get the message out loud and clear. And I'm going to be your voice piece for y'all. Some of y'all are too timid. You don't want to tell nobody what you want, but we're going to tell them folks what you really want. Okay, we're going to tell them because they're not getting it right. And we tired of y'all crashing out on the internet about what somebody ain't doing. And if your person ain't booking nothing, ain't doing nothing, go ahead and leave him with his children. Yeah, I know Mother's Day you're supposed to be around your babies, but it's okay. You can go ahead and leave them with their father, their grandparent, their somebody, and you can go ahead and get out. And I know it's a horrible thing. Like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm supposed to be underneath my kids. No, you don't have to. It's okay. You can go take a couple hours for yourself. You can sleep in a little bit. It's okay. We're going to talk about it. Tune into the YouTube this weekend. Make sure that you are at the event on May the 6th to see and meet Miss Marie Benedict, because again, it's going to be a blessing and an honor to meet. I love meeting authors. Oh, I just love it. Can you hear the nerd in me? I'm a proud nerd. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Thank you for tuning in. Amy, you rock. BLOCS, I appreciate you. Everybody who can do the EITC, go ahead and do that. It's an important thing to do. It's going to help your future. It's going to help your family. It's going to help other people. Go ahead and do that. And if you want to be a donor, I'm going to put the link in there. Go ahead and give a donation. No donation. Not to me though. Not to me. It's not for me. It's for BLOCS. It's for helping people get education and getting that scholarship and money that they need to succeed. It's not for me. Y'all have a good weekend. Have a good week. And I love you. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Conversations with Toi.
Thank you as always for joining me, and I know that even in the deepest or joyful conversations that there's something we can learn and apply. Until next time, I hope that you are doing better. If not, we will be back to talk some more and handle it. Peace to you and yours. Stay grounded.